Hey there. I was cleaning out the garage and I found some parts I used to work on. Now, this is some parts that they use to drill holes in skulls and cut bone. It's a surgical instrument company. Let me put you up here. Yeah, this is the company I used to work for, Ansbach. They made tools for drilling bones, like knee replacements and hip replacements, and they're high-speed grinders. We used to make. I worked in the prototype shop, and we made the parts. And then when they were approved, they went out to the production, which was all Swiss machines. But there's ball bearings in here, and the shaft goes through there. Then the cutter was on the end, and it doesn't have the mechanisms in here, but this gets attached to there, and it's got this. You can lock it, but the mechanisms aren't in here to lock it. But yeah, this is a tube, which actually is the motor. There's a lot of stuff going on in here, and they put fluid through here to actually run the motor. It's not air. This is the standard one they got. Then they got this micro. Now this was about 20, maybe 30 years ago. It's a long time ago. But yeah, these are a lot of the parts I made. These are things for locking mechanisms. And most of this stuff, I don't even remember what it's for. But it's really, it's all small stuff. And this material is 17.4. Used a lot of 17.4. Then we had our own little heat treat oven. I used to kid the guy when I was working on parts like this little slot in here. I see, I'm going to go in there and rough that out. I'm going to use a 60 thousandths diameter end mill to go in there and rough that out. There's a hole through there where the shaft goes through. Made a lot of shaft parts. This is one. I don't exactly remember what happened, but I was cutting it and it flipped it. It grabbed and it pushed it out. I don't exactly remember what happened, but I know I saved it. But anyway, some of the more interesting stuff was we made these pieces. This is a motor head. And we started out with, a blank. And then we started cutting it down and doing the inside work. And there's a hole on the end. This is another one. There's a shaft that goes through there that drives that gear, but it ends up looking something like that. And this is actually, well, I got two different sizes here. This is a big one, and this is the small one. They're both the same. They're just bigger and small. But yeah, there's this is actually cuts. This spins around, and these surfaces here, there's relief on those, so as they go in, they start cutting. So that's for, now I don't think this one goes on here. It's a different one, but it's similar, but that's something about what it looks like. So this gets attached to a shaft, and then they get pinned. Then this cutter is in there. This one's threaded, but then they take it in there and they grind bone away and different things. But one of the more interesting parts we made was, this is one that is still in the package here. Yeah, I worked on these. I had to go into the production shop one day, and I was working on these parts and just running them with a 3-axis mill, CNC mill. You know, I was just basically changing the parts because they needed them, and the other guy wasn't there. Or I don't exactly remember the reason why. But I was thinking, well, this is a waste of machine, you know, running these stupid parts when I could be using this machine to do prototype work. We had one in our shop. It was a small one. It was a nice little machine, but this was for production. But anyway, one of the more interesting parts that we made is this piece. Now this is a piece that they drill into your skull. This is a drill bit. And what happens here is that well, this is what it looks like when it's complete. But there's slots in here. There's holes in here to let fluid out when they're drilling. And what's unique about this is that this area here, this is actually a spring. This piece right here is the part that cuts. They're 180 degrees apart. But this piece right here is a spring. And what happens is when it's drilling into your skull, this spring, if there's like vessels there and different whatever it is there, mostly vessels and other things, that this spring is above the cutting surface, and it pushes away as it's going in. It pushes like a vein, it pushes them away, and the cutting surface only cuts the bone. So this, as it's getting pushed in, this spring actually pushes down and allows this cutting surface to cut. But other than if it's not cutting, the spring is above that cutting surface, and it won't cut anything soft. It only cuts hard things, and it takes a lot of pressure to push that down. But there's one on both sides. But that's pretty unique. And when it goes in there and drills, it'll only drill the bone. It won't drill anything soft because it pushes it to the side. So this is, it attaches to a different, it doesn't attach to this. This attaches to a bigger motor. And this is what these are some of the parts. This piece here is that piece there, which starts off as this piece. Then we do this top piece, then we flip it over, then we face it off. But this is spring loaded, this piece here. And what happens is that this pointed piece, it when they push it in, it digs in like one of those wood bits, you know how they're pointed, and it follows the point, actually rotates, and it it makes it straight. But this knurled surface, not a knurled surface, it's a, well, I guess you can call it a knurled surface, but it's not really. But what happens is that this grabs onto the surface, and as this drill bit's drilling, this piece rotates. So this piece rotates, there's a screw in there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a screw inside of there. And as this piece is drilling, this piece rotates, and that way you can control the depth, well, not the depth, but the speed of the drill, so that it doesn't, like, bounce up and down, because the skull is not flat. I mean, there's a lot of irregularities in it. And, it's like drilling a hole on a piece that's got a slight angle to it. It hits and then it bounces back and forth. But so what this does is this controls how fast this is going. You put going down so it doesn't bounce. So as this piece rotates, it brings this piece back, and it just keeps moving back. Now, the spring is under a lot of pressure. So it keeps moving back, and then these pieces help keep it from rotating. Plus it's what controls the depth of it. So it's, you're on the surface here. That's what's actually controlling the depth of this thing, is these two pieces riding on the outside surface. So then you go in there and you get this core, and then they remove it. Then when you push this piece, it goes back to the end. It's a lot of spring tension back here. But as that rotates, this piece rotates, and then it rotates on that screw, and it allows it to control the depth of it. And this is what it looks like bigger. So you got this piece here, and this is the piece that pops up. This gets cut in here. Now, I don't remember how we cut that. That right there, I don't remember how we did that. That piece right there gets cut. But I remember that, when we cut this piece on the end, I used a little Dremel tool in the mill, and when you cut it, this piece pops up because of the tension of it. But it's got a cutting edge on it. This is lower here and this is higher, so when this is rotating right there, it cuts, like the end of a drill. It's got that radial relief on it, and this is basically the same thing. It's got a radial relief on it. We set this up in a little indexer, and it's the number of rotations by the distance you're traveling is how you basically figure that out. But yeah, this is I don't remember what this part is. Must be some kind of tool or something. But this was a handle. There's a little pin that goes through there, and there's a spring, I think, on the back side, and this slides backwards when you're not using it, and then when you pull it out, you can push down on it and it activates something. Then when you're not using it, you push it back. But yeah, I still have one of the original ones. This is still in the sealed container that it was in, and I'm not going to take it out because I want to keep it in the sealed container. But that's what it looks like when they ship it out. It's the same thing as this, but it's all nice and shiny and clean and sterile. Of course, this one probably isn't sterile anymore, but I kept that in the original container. Thought that was interesting. A lot of people don't know about this, and a lot of people probably don't care, but you once in a while you hear where they got to drill into your brain, and this is what this is what our company used. There's other companies that made similar products, but yeah, that's what they look like. All right, well, I just wanted to show that to you. Got some other stuff here. I mean, that's what machinists do. They save the parts they used to work on. Mostly they save the parts that didn't make it. But anyway, just wanted to show that to you. All right, talk to you later.